Hi and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this video I'm going to be looking into what are their thoughts and feelings about you and the connection right now. So you can apply these messages for somebody that you're dealing with currently, a crush situation even, no contact situation. These messages can be applied for your twin flame, soulmate, just whatever comes to mind when you are thinking of your person and inquiring about their thoughts and feelings. And before I get into the reading, I wanted to start with the channel announcements. If you would like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop. There's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. And I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn Tarot. There's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format over there consists of pick-a-cards and general energy check-ins related to subjects such as spirituality, wellness, ascension, and self-love. So if any of that sounds interesting, I invite you to check that channel out. I thank you for your support there as well as for your continued support here on this channel. And I also have another announcement before we get into the reading. This is a product that I wanted to showcase with you. This is Rose Forever New York. You may be familiar with this bouquet from other readers here on YouTube. I've also featured a bouquet from them here on my channel a few months ago, and I'm partnering with them again with Mother's Day coming up. They have generously extended another coupon code for me, for you, for my viewers. It gives you $25 off your entire order. That coupon code is in the description box of the video. These are hand-picked roses, artisanal designed bouquets with Parisian chic themed hat box designs. The hat boxes come in a variety of colors and styles. It's vegan suede, and the roses themselves are real roses that are preserved with natural oils, and they are said to last up to a year. I really think that these will last a lot longer. This bouquet, these red roses, this came in the mail a few days ago, and it is definitely smelling up the place in the most wonderful way. These are so fragrant, they are so vibrant. It's just absolutely beautiful to know that, these roses, this gift can continue to last through the months, up to a year. I really think beyond a year. There are a variety of colors to choose from. There are natural pigments like red and white and yellow, and then there are more bold colors such as black, violet, purple. All of the roses, again, are dyed with allergen-free pigments for some of the more unusual colors, some of those more bold and fun colors. And all of the roses have been, hand-designed by artisanal flower designers. So they are really beautiful. This is a great gift for yourself, for any of the mothers in your life. And, with the sale that they have going on now, plus the $25 off coupon, it's a really good deal. There's a variety of sizes and style arrangements to fit everybody's budget and taste. So definitely check that out. I'm very happy to partner with them again. It's a company that's been around since 2019. And if you look at their website, they've got a lot of testimonials, a lot of customer feedback. It's an established brand. It's something you can trust. Definitely something that, in terms of my own gifting needs, this is a company that I would go to. Such a beautiful idea, such a unique idea, so many fun and vibrant colors. So I'm very excited to bring that to you. Again, there's a coupon code for $25 off your purchase, and that coupon code is good for the next 30 days. So that gives you some time to browse and decide and, shop around. So there you go, Rose Forever New York. So in terms of this video, there are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the clear quartz. Group 2 is the Celestite. And group 3 is this orange Carnelian. Okay, so let me hold those up so you can see them a little bit here. So if you want to take a minute to focus, center on your breathing and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose the clear quartz. So I'm going to start with tarot and oracle cards and see what are their thoughts and feelings about you and the connection right now. Okay, so we've got the 10 of Pentacles, which is Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. The Emperor, which is Aries. Temperance, which is Sagittarius. Orphaned. Enchanting Gifts. Reciprocity. And emptiness. So definitely, if this is a no contact situation with orphaned and emptiness, they are missing you. They are really feeling the absence of the connection, the light that used to exist in their life that emanated from you and the experiences that you had with one another. It's really tying in with this idea of the Ten of Pentacles, kind of recognizing what they have now that it's gone, now that it's strained, now that there's distance between the two of you. This can definitely be something with the Emperor and with Temperance. These are two major arcana energies here. And so this can talk about, kind of stepping into that empowered action, a decision that they have been weighing for quite some time to perhaps make a move towards you for reconciliation, to try and bring balance to this situation. They're trying to be very patient with themselves in some kind of process of fighting their ego at this point in time. The part of them that doesn't want to back down from a stance that was taken is very fearful of kind of stepping into more of the vulnerability that might be required to course correct in this situation. And yet, there is so much that is compelling them back in your direction. It feels like with this Ten of Pentacles, a lot of kind of like signs and synchronicities. It's almost like the writing's on the wall. So this may even tie into something that you've posted on social media recently, something that they've seen, maybe even just looking back over old photographs, text messages, emails between you, and really seeing something that they had kind of missed. It had kind of blended into the background before, sensing value and worth, missing that closeness, wanting to recapture kind of the sweeter times between you before things maybe became rocky, or there was miscommunication, something that was misconstrued, something that has led to a bit of distance between you. Enchanting gifts can really talk about, this element of surprise, wanting to kind of come to you on a good day, when they're feeling good, when they're feeling in high spirits, high vibration, wanting to step into this empowered energy right here to be able to bring something of meaning and worth. With all this pink here in this card, this speaks of heart chakra energy as well, which ties in with a lot of this green that the Emperor is wearing, that you still occupy a very special place within their heart. And if they had failed to appreciate that before, had failed to really show that or prove that or be consistent with that before, there is an urge to course correct, to give more than they had in the past to you, to make a resurgence in your life, a reemergence. With this little kitty cat here on the enchanting gifts, this also talks about really tapping into their intuition at this point in time, trying to follow that guidance, trying to receive that guidance, listen to that guidance, follow the signs back to you. And this idea of reciprocity also, it ties in with Temperance, this balance, this equal give and take. They're recognizing, seeing how the two of you, as different as you may have been, as much as this might have been like an opposites attract situation, or something that really caught them by surprise, the intensity and nature of their feelings for you in the past, that may have made them very overwhelmed, made them pull away, get a bit skittish in this situation. There's now this interest in giving. They're really seeing the value and worth. And again, it ties in with this idea of like emptiness and orphaned, wanting to fill that void, maybe having tried to replace the void in their heart, in their life, with other connections, distractions, trying to numb themselves out, focus on anything other than the sense of missing you to no avail. If this is somebody new that you are dealing with, like a current situation, so you're still in contact with one another, maybe you're getting to know one another, this is also really talking about, this idea of a sense of empowerment, a sense of wanting to step forth and maybe take the connection to the next level, make some kind of heartfelt declaration, open up to talking about romance and tenderness and feelings in a way that you haven't reached that level yet of the connection with one another. But it's something where this person, whether this is a current person or a past person, they feel a lot of peace in your presence. They feel almost like that their vibration is raised just by being near you, even if it's very mundane things that you're talking about and that you're dealing with, and that you're doing with one another. It's something where rather than feeling very drained or very confused in the aftermath of that, they almost feel very alleviated, very refreshed in a lot of ways. And it's something where there also is kind of this energy here of a little bit of reserve and kind of wanting to hold back, not wanting to kind of take too much without kind of the equal give and take in the situation. This may have been kind of a problem for this individual in relationships and circumstances before, where there was kind of an imbalance. One person was giving too much, the other was taking. This may be, kind of a tendency within this person, something they're trying to work on to kind of curb some codependency within themselves. So they're being very mindful at this point in time to ensure that the connection is advancing at a pace that is comfortable for the both of you, that you're really feeling as nourished and refreshed and uplifted by the experiences with them as they feel with you. This definitely speaks to heart-to-heart conversation energy here, wanting to open up those lines of communication, wanting to kind of take things to the next level, see what can blossom between the two of you. A sense of, seeing a lot of long-term potential with you, feeling very fulfilled, enjoying your company, wanting to continue this more, or to create some more of like a solid understanding between the two of you. If it's just been casual, if it's just been a crush situation, this is wanting to take things to the next level in some manner. Maybe even just ask you out on a date, or for some of you with this kind of familial energy right here, maybe, inviting you home to meet the parents, wanting you to meet their friends, just kind of deepen the intimacy, deepen the connection between you, being very almost possessive, not wanting to share you with anyone else as well. So maybe leaning into more of that desire toward mutual exclusivity, but also wanting to really share the joy that they feel with you, the gift of, this experience of experiencing the energy exchange between the two of you in their lives, wanting to share that with people who matter to them. So it's a very, whether this is somebody that you are in separation from, no contact with, or somebody that you're currently dealing with, it's a very beautiful energy of somebody who definitely wants to kind of like minimize the gap between spending time with you, not wanting to like overwhelm you with their energy, not wanting to, kind of make you feel that your autonomy or your individuality is needing to be sacrificed in the interest of the connection. But they notice the space in between when you are speaking with one another. They're wanting closeness. They're wanting to, kind of link up with you in a more pronounced way, to make something more solid, to maybe have the conversation about what are your intentions? These are my intentions. Let's see how we can work together to take things to the next level. Definitely if it's somebody in a no contact situation, separation, they are really feeling that absence. They're feeling that void of your presence, the connection that you once had with one another in a more tangible way. And there are thoughts that are being invested, maybe even plans that are being laid in place to try and reemerge in your life, to try and present something different from how they were operating in before, or to at least make the effort and attempt to see if the two of you can, kind of smooth things out between the two of you, sort of, mend the bridge, close that gap between where you were in the past with one another and whatever sort of tore the connection asunder, so that you can move in the direction of building something more solid, stable, and satisfying to the both of you. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self and see what do they want to tell you right now. Okay, and they say, your face haunts me day and night. So that is that confirmation that was coming through with kind of these little signs and reminders, the writing being on the wall and that 10 of Pentacles energy. They're thinking about you a lot, whether this is someone from the past or someone that you're currently dealing with. You are on their mind. There are a lot of signs that are giving them the green light to take some kind of action, make some kind of heart-centered movement towards you to solidify the connection more, or to open those lines of communication to clearing the air between the two of you so some healing can happen. And they also say, you are my treasure. So that is that 10 of Pentacles energy. They're really valuing the connection, the time that they spend with you. They value your presence in their life. Maybe this is someone who's just a friend right now, somebody that you are, just starting to see, kind of casually dating, maybe even like a crush situation. You bring a lot of joy and a lot of peace to their life, a lot of fulfillment. Even if you don't spend a lot of time with one another, there's a richness to that, to those experiences with you in the, words that are exchanged, in the time that you spend together, even if it's just comfortable silence, being in proximity to one another. They feel very lucky to have met you and very kind of blessed to be in your presence, to spend time with you. They feel that their life is more rich for having you in it. This also applies if this is somebody where it's a no contact situation, a situation of separation, where they are definitely realizing kind of this treasure that has slipped through their fingers, or that they maybe even foolishly kind of cast aside in the past. And it's something where they're wanting to, definitely kind of take some steps toward fixing things, trying to repair things, trying to see if the two of you can kind of work things out between you. And they also say things aren't always as they seem. So definitely if this is somebody where it's separation, it's no contact, and it's just total radio silence, kind of this wall of silence between you, there's a lot going on beneath the surface. They may be trying really hard, again, with this idea of like enchanting gifts and surprises, and with that cat just kind of like moving in a very stealthy manner, not wanting to reveal too much too soon, wanting to really sort of vet things out, feel things out, energetically speaking. They may even be doing a little bit of sleuthing, a little bit of kind of research, spying on you to see kind of what's going on, when's the right time to approach, what's the right manner in which to approach. And not giving away too much too soon. This can also tie into with like a crush situation, somebody that you're currently dealing with, maybe even a friend, that they have a lot deeper feelings for you than they have let on at this point, up to this point in time, with that 10 of Pentacles. And with the Temperance, these are long-term feelings that have been building. A lot of this pressure that has been building beneath the surface, and it feels like a lot of them are definitely, they're giving a lot of thought, they're investing a lot of thought in, kind of broaching the subject of, let's talk about romance. Let's talk about taking things to the next level. Let's open those lines of communication, so at least we know, and it's not just this kind of, thick tension that's kind of hanging in the air between the two of you. And they also say our love can power galaxies. So again, they feel very charged by you, very refreshed, very invigorated, very enlivened by the connection, especially if this is a no contact situation. They're feeling that drain, that absence of where you were in their life, this void that it almost feels like they wouldn't have been able to appreciate had it not been for separation happening. They may have really taken you for granted in the past. And especially if this has been a long time or a lot of distance that separates the two of you, they're feeling it very acutely. It's like this dull ache that has continued with them across time and space that they have not been able to fill, and it is now compelling them back into your orbit to try and make things right, to try and fix this, to see if you can start again, start over, start fresh. If this is a new person, then they definitely want to take things to the next level. They see a lot of long-term potential with you and are very excited about the possibilities and the heights to which this connection can ascend. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit for you about this, and then I'll close it out with some initials. Okay, and we have the little things. Take time to rest upon your perch and delight in every tiny miracle. So this is really tying into this idea of, have patience, allow this person to come to you, whether this is somebody from the past returning or somebody new that you are dealing with. It definitely feels like they're sitting in this Emperor energy. Even the color scheme of these two cards are very similar to me. And it feels, as much as you may be inclined, if you're getting the signs to make that first move, to reach out, by all means, follow your intuition and the signs that your spirit guides are giving you personally. But it really feels to be something with this idea of perch, where it's a necessary component to really like activate or bring out this empowered part of this person that you're dealing with, that you're watching this reading for. They want to be the one to make the first move. It's very important for them to do that. And especially if this is somebody from the past, it's almost necessary in order to set the stage for repairing the connection, is them coming forward. Maybe in the past you were the one doing all the giving. It's time for you to allow yourself to receive, to open your heart up to that high vibrational love that you are cultivating and understanding that you are worthy and deserving of. Allowing this person to rise to that level to meet you is definitely the most favorable approach to this situation. so that you can stand in your power. And it also allows this individual to kind of rise up into their own personal power, rise to meet you at your level. No more stooping, no more settling, no more kind of, compromising. It's the love you have to offer. It is worthy of somebody making that effort to take the steps necessary to rise up, to reach you, and to meet you at that level. So I'm going to get some initials. And this can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person. That could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. And I forgot to bring the little basket over here that I have been using for these readings where I have my face on camera. The camera's not facing down at the table anymore, so that usually I'm using to kind of like hold these initials and kind of hold them up. So I'm gonna try in this little bowl that I have here on my table. We'll see if this works, but I will remember that basket for future readings. But so we have the letter E, K, B, P, W, and H. So let's see. Yeah, I can kind of hold them up like that and they're not going to fall out. So there you go. I don't know if you want to take a minute to look at those, screenshot those. But those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the Celestite, So I'm going to start with some tarot and oracle cards to see what are their thoughts and feelings about you and the connection right now. Okay, so we have the Magician, which is Gemini, the Hanged Man, which is Pisces, Knight of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, Truth Be Told, Chop Wood, Kindness, and Greatness. So this person has a lot of admiration for you. It feels like you inspire them or they look up to you in some manner. Something about your energy, about maybe the things that you are doing professionally, that you're creating for yourself, the life that you have carved out for yourself. If they know about maybe your personal history, some obstacles or challenges which you have faced, they're very much in awe of how you have not allowed these things to embitter you, but these have instead been the pathway toward the betterment of yourself. It's something that it's almost making them feel a little bit kind of intimidated in a sense, that they're not really sure kind of if what they have to bring to you is kind of an adequate match for what it is that you bring to the table. So a little bit of almost like having to hold back, not wanting to clutter or complicate your life, a little bit of sort of triggering maybe that has occurred within them of kind of even just very simple things, just the way that you, you smile even on days when you're not feeling your best. You go out of your way to, really extend kindness, to, find solutions, to problem solve, rather than sort of like ruminating on the past, the way in which you've forgiven yourself, you forgive others. This especially applies if this is somebody from your past, like a no contact situation, just how they are sensing that you are holding their energy. It's really highlighting for them a lot of work that they need to do within themselves to free themselves from energetic ties and tethers, maybe even kind of looking around at themselves and, the life that they've created. And you almost like you humble this person in a sense where it brings to mind that they should be having more gratitude for their gifts and blessings, for their circumstances. It feels to be very like it's motivational energy. It's almost like healthy competition in a sense with this Knight of Wands. And there is this urge to rush towards you, wanting to co-create something with you, create a new start, a fresh start, a new beginning. If this is somebody that you're in separation with, no contact with, if this is somebody new that you're dealing with, they definitely see this situation, the connection with you, what you bring to the table is almost like a missing ingredient. It's a missing link to something that they are viewing as the two of you together could be almost like power couple type energy. That you have a lot of really good attributes. They really, again, admire your compassion, your perseverance, your strength. But there's a sense of almost like holding back, holding the truth at bay. Maybe they have been, holding on to some feelings that they've wanted to express for some time, or an apology that is owed, a sense of admiration that they feel very, very humbled and not really wanting to bring that forth. It's a sense of feeling that the two of you together could create a more empowered situation with one another, but there's also an element of just you standing in your own light, in your own power, in your own life, just living your life, healing, growing, persevering, that is making them feel inadequate, imbalanced in some manner. It feels like they could be putting you on a bit of a pedestal, which is creating some hesitation in their forward movement. With this Knight of Wands especially, which is usually a fast moving energy, but then this horse in this picture is just at a standstill, and he's kind of like looking off to the side, that it's almost in some way this gusto to like move towards you. They're stopping short of that follow through and that action. There's almost this hesitation, like if I open this door and reveal some kind of truth, express feelings, and we do this thing, we move forward, we run forward toward building that kind of power couple energy with one another. Am I really ready to take that next step? Do I have what it takes to kind of match that frequency in a consistent way? Especially if this is somebody wanting to kind of reemerge from the past, or is kind of watching you from afar. Definitely gives the impression of kind of like secret admirer. So this may even be like a crush who's a little bit sort of nervous or hesitant to kind of move forward, not really sure what they have to offer to you, if this is sustainable, if, almost seeing you as somebody who's very kind of busy, you're loving your life, you're living your best life. And there's a questioning, like wanting to join you there, but like, do they have anything of value and measure to kind of like add to that? Or is it something that would just be complications, or, something that wouldn't be kind of in your best interest to sort of participate with them long term. So it's creating a little bit of hesitation, or somebody from the past wanting to return, and again in that same kind of energy as they've been observing you, as they've been kind of like seeing you, seeing kind of some kind of glow up, that you're in your best season right now. You're looking better than ever. You really are just exuding this vibration of love in a very humble way, in a very authentic way, in a very genuine way. It's apparent that you're loving on yourself a lot right now, and it's something that they want to join you in that realm, in that territory, in that vibration. But again, there's this kind of questioning of like, do I have what it takes to match up with that? Am I self-loving enough to meet this person on that self-loving vibration? Or is this, they're almost sensing that your standards are so high, or that you're just valuing yourself so much, you're not going to take any foolishness or nonsense, that they need to like come to you correct, or don't come at all. And so it's creating a little bit of sort of like hanging back, a little hesitation, a little bit of like holding off on just running towards you, to create a new beginning, to create the next chapter, to create something solid and stable out of what at this point in time is just, it's almost like a hunger that they have for you. It's wanting to join you there in that vibration, in the spotlight, in living that best life. And whatever that looks like, whatever's going on in your life right now, they want to be there with you. So a lot of attention that they are directed towards you at this point in time, but kind of just, with this veil even over her face, and kind of like, the third eye and the crown chakra there being slightly covered. It's almost like they're doubting a little bit of their intuition as well. Like, are they really that adequate match for you? Can they really trust this kind of, it almost was like a call from within you, from within your heart, this beacon that is like beckoning them, like, here, come join me here. Let us stand together. Let us rise together into this very empowered energy, this openness, this love that you just pour into and through everything that it is that you do. It's very appealing for them. It's calling them in. It's a very magnetic energy. But they're also confronting a lot of kind of doubts and fears and shadows, and a little bit of like a lack mentality, kind of like, do I really genuinely have what it takes to, be this person's companion, this person's, partner, this person's, counterpart, or, whatever that looks like? Is this something where, is there a place for me in their life? Can I, or am I just going to kind of try to force myself to fit somewhere where I don't belong, and then it falls apart? So a little bit of like holding back on some personal truth, but definitely, admiring you a lot, wanting to kind of move towards you, wanting to open up, wanting to speak, wanting to express some kind of truth, but a bit of almost feeling very tongue-tied or tangled, or not really sure how to conceptualize kind of the long-term potential of this situation, but also very fascinated by you as well. And confirmation of that right there with my landline ringings in the background. Excuse that, I was going to unplug the phone and I forgot to do that. So there you go. But let me get into some messages from their higher self and see, what does this person want you to know at this time? Okay, and they say, you're like my long lost best friend. So again, this is this idea of, seeing a big future with you, sensing power couple energy right here, a lot of compatibility between you. The idea, if this is even somebody with a no contact, somebody you're in separation from, they're really missing you. They're longing for that. They're wanting to return to your life, to resume that closeness that the two of you once shared with one another. But just feeling almost at a loss for what they have to offer at this point in time. Maybe sense some kind of a glow up, or they're seeing you in a new light from a new perspective. And so there's this longing for closeness, longing to, kind of build with you. And at the same time, kind of not really being sure if what they have to offer is something that you're interested in or that will add to the measure of the value of your life in the long term. And they also say, I can't face you right now. The intensity between us scares me. So again, feeling a bit intimidated, putting you up on a pedestal in some manner, recognizing that you definitely raised the bar. You have a very high standard. You have elevated your life. You've elevated your existence in some manner, and it compels them, it beckons them to kind of join you there in that place, to get serious about themselves, to align with some kind of personal mission, some kind of higher purpose, to really, start living their best life. And as tempting as that is, as inviting as that is, it's also very intimidating, kind of what must fall away in order to facilitate that. And also a lot of doubt and hesitation as far as, do they have what it takes within them? Maybe, in general, or at this point in time, have they healed enough? Have they grown enough yet? If it's a no contact situation, to kind of join you there in that higher vibration. They also say, I worship your perfection. So again, putting you on a pedestal at this point in time, really admiring you. This feels like somebody that, if it's a crush situation, somebody you're currently dealing with, somebody from the past, all of those scenarios are definitely watching you from afar. If you don't have social media, they're feeling into you energetically. They may be asking about people. Somehow they become aware of some changes, some kind of a transformation, maybe even just if it's been an internal glow up, everything else is pretty much the same in your life. They've just heard from people, or they're noticing, they're seeing this change about your energy and your aura, that you look good, you look happy, you look at peace. You have brought some kind of balance into your life. You've created that for yourself. As much as you might not be able to see that or recognize that, other people are noticing that, including this person. And it feels to be adding into that level of intimidation that it's so tempting. It is beckoning them to partake, to join you, to just immerse themselves in this. And at the same time, it triggers within them almost this energy of lack, things that are left undone, or that they don't feel they've reached a level of perfection yet. That it's almost like you've raised your standard. And so it's bringing to mind this idea within them of, do they have what it takes to meet that, to match that vibration? And they also say, you are so precious to me. So definitely, if this is somebody you're currently dealing with, they really value the time that you spend together. They're very inspired by you. They're taking a cue out of your playbook, maybe trying to emulate, practices, things that you are doing to really shift your life, to change your life, to cultivate gratitude, to keep that vibration high. They value the time spent with one another. It's almost like they're getting these kind of cues and sort of pointers about things that they may need to kind of work on, confronting a lot of this triggering within themselves, which isn't easy to look at, but in the long run, it's almost like the deeper that they look at that, the more that they face and kind of sit in that energy of a lack mentality. It's helping them to slowly release these things, to kind of untether themselves from, these prohibitions, or this sense of almost, with this hangman, it's feeling like them tangling themselves in knots, and that you're kind of representing this little, almost like a cherub or like an angelic energy that's telling them, like, you don't have to sit in this kind of stale vibration. You don't have, even if you're not saying these words, it's just something within your vibration that really coaxes them to, take a different look at their circumstances, at options available to them, at who they are, at how they've been living their life, their potential. And you just, by being you encourage them to raise their standard as well. So it's very much, it feels like a very educational connection in a lot of ways for them. Maybe there is even like literally a school connection between you, but it feels to be something where the joy that they feel, the inspiration that they feel, just in a very kind of natural and a very, mundane way, without even attempting to, you really inspire this person to be more, to do more, to love themselves more, to harness their greatest potential, and to really work with what they have and kind of like reshape their view of circumstances in the past that have led to their present reality, and how to kind of like use these things to craft a different kind of future for themselves, starting first and foremost with how they're feeling inside, how they're viewing themselves, and then allowing that to kind of blossom out into, opportunities that they are going for, that they're allowing into their life. So I'm going to close this out with some guidance from Spirit, and then I'll get some initials for you. Okay, we've got sweet surrender. Let go, let go, let go, and lighten your load. Then sail freely through the open door to inner peace. So this is definitely, this energy of perseverance with this elephant right here, and wisdom, and, just encouraging you to continue to press forward on your own healing, on your own ascension journey. You've definitely caught this person's attention in a very major way. You have made a very profound impact upon them, and it's bringing to mind the idea, and I don't even know if this is I don't even think it's something real. Maybe it is. You could leave it in the comments if you know, but it's this saying that like elephants aren't afraid of anything except for mice. That really doesn't sound true, so we'll just call it an analogy for argument's sake, but it's this idea of like this greatness that just you in your authenticity inspire this person, whether it's someone from your past, somebody you're currently dealing with. It's a greatness in love, a greatness in romance. It's like power couple energy. It's like legacy building energy that they sense with you. But then that idea of like the mouse is just, it's these little kind of things within them that are holding them back. It's these little insecurities. It's these little doubts. And it's something which, in that context, because that analogy has come up, it really feels like Spirit saying to just you continue doing you, continue being you, continue to press forward, that these obstacles that this individual is facing, these are not insurmountable obstacles. These are challenges which can be faced, which can be overcome, allowing them time to do that, release any kind of expectation or even how you're interpreting their current conduct towards you. You may feel them almost like looming energetically, sort of right at the brink, almost like somebody opening their mouth to speak and then they sort of back off again. It feels like that's the energy here, where this person is wanting to reach out, maybe come back from the past, open the lines of communication to romance, have that deep conversation with you to sort of discuss taking things to the next level, and they just stop short, allowing them that opportunity to kind of face those mice in their life and recognize themselves as, the force to be reckoned with, to step into that power, to step into that, gentle energy, that wise energy, that very assertive energy to make their way towards you. They have what it takes, and they recognize you as somebody that they could really build with. So giving them that opportunity to kind of rise beyond their own challenges in order to do that. And also with that reference to mice, it definitely feels, to let you know that if you're sensing this looming kind of energy, it definitely can indicate somebody who's right on the brink of kind of crossing that threshold of just, speaking some long overdue truth, opening those lines of communication, of conversation, addressing those kind of things, those little topics that might have been very intimidating, kind of the elephant in the room, so to speak, literally, and once those kind of floodgates are opened, it creates a freeing kind of energy. The difficult conversation, once those words are spoken, it almost makes it a lot easier then for the two of you to really see what you're working with, for you to be able to understand their perspective, almost even just intuiting that energetically, and kind of what it takes for them to force themselves past their fears in your direction, and that can help provide some kind of perspective for you. It can provide some kind of illumination for you, and then also kind of like a well-rounded view of sort of some potential within them you hadn't seen. They're stepping into their greatness, allowing them to do that so they can meet you at that very self-loving level, so that you can, if you so choose, kind of build with one another toward that power couple energy, toward that, equal give and and take. So, you know, kind of extinguishing the elephant in the room, getting it all out there into the open so that you can really decide and see kind of, you know, what do we have to work with here? What are our common goals and our intentions? And, you know, are we moving in the same direction? That it's definitely, you know, surrender to that process and the timing, because it definitely feels like this person is needing to be that one to kind of free themselves and cross that threshold of fear to speak some kind of truth that's kind of just, it's tangled. It's like right on the tip of their tongue, but they're holding back. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got T, H, G, N, M, or because I held that upside down, we'll call it W also, or F, and F. So there you go. I don't know if you want to take a look at those, screenshot them for a minute. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the orange carnelian. So I'm going to start with some tarot and oracle cards to see what are their thoughts and feelings about you and the connection right now. so we have the Magician, which is Gemini energy, and this came out in group 2. So if you felt drawn to watch that group, you may want to do so after this one. There could be additional messages there for you. But we also have Page of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. 9 of Cups, so more of that water energy. To Be Fair, Never-Ending Story, Squaring the Circle, and Liberation. So definitely this person is in their feels with all of this kind of like cups energy right here with the 9 of Cups, the Page of Cups, this jug here on the liberation. There is a conversation, a declaration that they want to present to you. It feels most likely to be something along the lines of you represent wish fulfillment. They really enjoy the time that you spend with one another. If this is somebody from your past, somebody you're in no contact with, this can even be that kind of declaration of, I'm missing the closeness we once shared. What can I do to kind of get closer to you, to move back to that place? It feels also that they may have kind of a lot of lack in the emotional body at this point in time, kind of the void where your presence, where the times that you spent together in the past, where that once filled something for them that has been unable to be fulfilled, with kind of this empty cup here on the Page of Cups. Normally in like Rider-Waite themed decks, there's a little fish popping out, but as we see, the fish is like down here. The fish has sailed away. So they may have, thrown you back into the ocean thinking there are many fish in the sea, only to discover that there is nobody quite like you. So that definitely can apply if this is a person from your past, a no contact situation. With the Magician, definitely could be trying to manifest a fresh start for you, or they're really kind of working with a lot of different sort of methods, maybe even like, trying to actively manifest you, like during the new moon, saying intentions, mantras, creating some kind of like vision or a dream board, trying to call you back into their reality, strategizing, using kind of like many different tools at their disposal. If you know people in common, they're asking about you, they're looking you up on social media. They may even be getting readings about you if they, are into divination. Maybe this is someone who isn't even into divination, but it has really prompted them to kind of like seek outside the box in a sense with like squaring the circle. They're going to these different and extreme kind of like lengths and methods to sort of tap into your energy and to see, where are you at? Is this connection salvageable? If this is somebody new that you're dealing with, maybe a crush, a secret admirer, somebody you're talking to, you're casually dating, again, that same idea of maybe resorting to divination to kind of try to peek into what's the long-term potential here. What is the nature of these feelings? Do they feel the same way? This could be somebody who's watching pick-a-card readings. Again, kind of trying these various sort of manifestation practices to sort of bring you into their reality, to call you into their reality, maybe even trying to like send telepathic thoughts, kind of come into your dreams, just anything to try and get a little bit of a clue to sort of tap you on the shoulder, so to speak, that they are interested, kind of as a prelude before speaking some kind of truth. It also feels like a lot of just kind of residual energy that you're picking up on. They may not even know that they are actively kind of manifesting you in, but there's so much attention being directed to that energetic body, to the feelings that they have for you, and a sense of feeling very kind of like trapped, like a missed opportunity at some point in time where they, had a chance to speak some kind of truth, to take the connection to the next level and didn't. They're regretting that. There's a lot of focus on that, a sense of a window of opportunity may be closing. If this is somebody from your past you've been dealing with, a questioning as far as is it too little too late to salvage this situation? They've not been able to forget you. They've not been able to get you off their mind. And it feels like something where you might be kind of intuitively sort of picking up on that, on the vibration of that, of so much attention going into these feelings, into what has happened in the past, this curiosity, is it too little too late? Almost like you're kind of like a fly on the wall observing this internal mental process, this emotional process within them, this kind of flow, this back and forth with the to be fair. It's, this kind of reciprocity of energy exchange. You're sort of like toing and froing with them, ebbing and flowing in this kind of like, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I, looking at the past, hoping about the future, feeling very empowered, feeling in lack. The little fortune cookie right here as well, another confirmation of definitely somebody who could be, using divination techniques. Maybe they're pulling cards for themselves. They're using a pendulum to get answers. They've paid for readings. They're watching pick-a-card readings, watching readings online, something that may be very out of character for them. And yet there's something that deeply compels them to like find answers, almost wanting some kind of a sense of certainty in a roundabout way before they make a decision to move forward. This can also tie into almost you picking up on some level of their internal process of strategy, of kind of trying to make sense, trying to kind of complete some kind of circle, come out of some round and round repetition, some kind of karmic loop that they are kind of going in as far as, what do I do in this situation? How do I make a move forward? To where if they are coming forward then with some sort of communication, it might almost be like a confirmation. You may be having like prophetic dreams about this. It might not be very surprising to you. You could already get these signals and these indicators. Their energy is coming toward you, this emotional energy, sort of ahead of that concrete material action. And it's something where it may be very kind of like draining and confusing for you, a sense of like, what's real, what's kind of imagined in this sense. Why am I picking up on all of this when it's maybe radio silence with this person, or if it's somebody you're currently dealing with, you're picking up on that kind of ambient flow of this emotional, almost like churning, a bit of chaos within themselves. Maybe they have never open those lines of communication about having romantic feelings, as if this is a friend, for example, or like a crush situation. And there's this sense of like feeling that there's something more, sensing maybe these little innuendos that they've given, feeling this very discernible chemistry, and yet they're not following through with like words or actions in accordance with that. So this could again be leading to some confusion on your part where you're intuiting. And it's almost like they know that you know. They regard you as very, with all of this watery energy right here, very psychic, very intuitive. That also feels to be something that's very intimidating, a sense of like they can't pull anything past you. That might also be very shocking. They may not be used to feeling so vulnerable, so seen. They could be somebody who's used to kind of, operating in silence, being very much in a position of control in terms of how they navigate in romantic situations. And, because of the nature of this dynamic, or just who you are as a person, a very intuitive person, a very watery energy, there's a sense of them almost feeling out of their element, that the normal sort of approach that they would take to a situation, to somebody that they're interested in, somebody they're trying to repair something with from their past, it's not going to work. It requires like a leveling up in some manner, a rigorous honesty, that they can't come cloaked. They can't come with any kind of trickery. If there's kind of trickery or sort of trying to cheat their way into this, be a little bit sneaky, a little bit, picking into the energy, doing the divination, it's a sense of, on some conscious level, they're aware that you're most likely aware that they're doing this, or you've gotten signs, you've gotten indications, and it's like the elephant in the room, basically. It's this unspoken thing between the two of you, which also, that reference to elephants came up at the end of group 2, not to, spoiler alert or anything like that. I won't say much more, but it's something where, again, that can be another sort of draw back to that group. If you felt inclined to watch that can provide some further clarification or other messages for you about kind of what's going on with this person. But a lot of deep satisfaction that they have, wanting to bring forth something to you, wanting to, contribute to the measure of joy that you have brought to their life in the past, or that you currently bring, wanting to make sure that they preserve whatever the dynamic is between the two of you, kind of a little bit of hesitation to take things further, not wanting to jump in too quickly, not wanting to overwhelm you, not wanting to overstep any kind of boundaries. So maybe this is a work connection, or again, a friend, a crush, where they're really not sure sort of where you're at, how you view them. That can also be why they're kind of resorting to these other methods of like divination, trying to tap in, trying to kind of test the waters before they put themselves out there in a material sense. And if it's somebody from the past, definitely wanting to almost ensure that it's safe to come forward, knowing that there may be some kind of truth or restoration. This, to be fair, really gives me the vibes of like the Justice card. So Libra can be another sign that is significant as well, but really kind of like weighing the head and the heart, really feeling that like they have a lot of factors to take into consideration, that it's delicate work. They want to approach you right. Again, like a window of opportunity, maybe closing, a lot of time may have gone by. It's like they really need to present something substantial is kind of how they're feeling, that it can't just be like empty cup, empty promises again. There's got to be some degree of follow through. And so it feels that they're definitely kind of in this process of sort of thinking about that. That's weighing heavily on their mind. They may feel very burdened, very exhausted by that, a little bit kind of defeated before they've even made the effort. And it definitely feels to be something that like mutually you're kind of like pivoting off of one another. You're very much picking up on this. A lot of sort of that energetic communication, that higher realm communication, dream communication as kind of like a prelude or an aside to what they're in the process of kind of trying to strategize or manifest in the material world. So I'm going to get some messages from their higher self now and see, what does this person want to tell you? Okay, and they say, I still have so much to accomplish before I can be what you deserve. So a bit of lack mentality that they are working with right now, a bit of hesitation about if you're open to them, if you feel the same way, if this is a situation that can be repaired, if it's somebody you're in no contact with from the past. This can again be why they're kind of sort of sneaking around the peripheral, around the perimeter, trying to like, find out information before they bring something forth in the material world. Because it's almost a gauge of like, what do they need to sort of alter within themselves. It's not like they're wanting to come forth in a sneaky energy, but they're trying to gauge what it is that you need, what it is that you want, what it is that you're looking for, kind of where you are at vibrationally, so they can almost temper or calibrate themselves to that level, so they're not overwhelming you or under delivering. A sense of a lot of emotional growth and healing that they've done. They've recognized you've healed, you've picked up the pieces from the aftermath of dealing with one another previously. But they may almost feel that, you're sitting in this energy of like loving yourself, being very satisfied with where you are. You're loving life, you're looking good, you're glowing, you're exuding this energy of healing and being very healed, very ascended. And so it's really raising the bar and standard for them as far as things that they need to pick up the pace on in their own kind of personal healing journey. And they also say, I can't face you right now. The intensity between us scares me. So another reference to group 2, this card came out there. So definitely could be more messages for people over in that group. But again, it's this idea of sort of dipping their toe in the water, taking the temperature, energetically speaking, before they bring forth some kind of truth in the material world, not wanting to, move in too quickly, not wanting to overwhelm you, not wanting to put themselves out there only to be sort of shut down or hurt. So they could still be dealing with some wounds, some fear, some lack, maybe as a result of what happened between you in the past, or even some previous kind of like rejection or heartbreak where, they're needing to kind of take a roundabout approach. They're needing to create some certainty within themselves in order to not sort of get back into another cycle of disappointment or rejection. They also say, you feel like a warm home to me. So they are longing for you, missing that closeness, that idea of kind of the void of where you once represented a very satisfying part of their life. It's a place within their heart that has not been filled. The memory of you remains. If this is someone you were dealing with in the past, they have been unable to successfully move on. They may have tried to kind of numb out the situation, distract themselves, maybe even entering into other romantic connections to no avail. You cannot be replaced. And it's this energy of being pulled back in your direction, a curiosity. This could even have been sparked by some kind of like healing you've gone through, some kind of glow up that has piqued their energetic curiosity and made them want to kind of come in and investigate. And what they're seeing, what they're sensing, what they're feeling, it's very intriguing. It's very enticing. It's making them like want more from the situation. They also say, I remember you. So this definitely could be a past life connection, a past life soulmate, or this can be a confirmation of like a twin flame connection. That can tie in with the idea of the intensity, something very triggering, you both needing to kind of go to your opposite corners to heal, to process. This person could be getting visions or dreams of you. Again, that sense of like the warm feeling of home, being beckoned back to the sense of that they can be vulnerable with you. They can be themselves. They can be their most authentic expression in ways that they have not been able to do in other partnerships after dealing with you, or even if this is somebody new that you're dealing with, as they are reflecting on kind of opening up, speaking some kind of emotional truth, making some kind of offer, taking things to the next level. They're very aware of the fact that you elicit within them some kind of sense of security to where they don't need to put up a front. They don't need to put up masks. You're very like warm and inviting, and you bring out almost the best in this person, not in a forced way, but they're free to be their authentic self. You learn and grow from each other energetically speaking, even without really trying to. And this is something which, it's almost like they're remembering kind of this initial sort of pull and draw towards you, this spark, this recognition that each time you're in contact with one another, that spark just becomes more apparent. They feel more alive in your presence. And it's something that they want to be able to give equally back to you, but they're still in this process of kind of like needing to move slowly, needing to move delicately. Again, the idea of remembering, like not wanting to fall back into, some kind of pattern of moving impetuously into a connection, opening up too quickly, being too bold, overstepping some kind of boundaries, needing to kind of, remember mistakes of the past that they have made in romance with you or in other connections, and an attempt to sort of course correct, to bring something different to the table, so that the two of you can hopefully build into a very productive long-term connection with one another. So I'm going to get some guidance, and then I'll close it out with some initials. Okay, so we have bouquets of blessings. Your broken wings are mending. Relax and know you are receiving a miraculous gift of healing. So this can be that confirmation, if this is somebody that you are in no contact with, that they are making their way towards you with some kind of an apology, to refer back to this to be fair card. Whether you take that or not is up to you, but this is definitely somebody who wants to at least make that effort and attempt toward restoration. The encouragement here is to continue to, do your work to heal and ascend and to grow from this experience with this individual. If this is somebody new that you're dealing with, it also is really this kind of guidance that opening the door to this connection, allowing this person to kind of transcend their own sort of like insecurities, their own fear of maybe falling back into patterns of a broken heart. It actively, you holding space for them allows them to like self-heal and to provide you with some kind of regeneration possibility in terms of other disappointments from other people you may have experienced in love as well, that there's a potential for both of you to really heal one another. You're actively in this process of kind of like self-healing, working past insecurities. Maybe for you, it's the energy of being patient, waiting, receiving, allowing someone to come towards you rather than pursuing, charging forward, kind of like picking up on those energetic cues and just kind of moving too quickly at something, speaking a truth that maybe is best left kind of reserved, where you just are that beacon of receptivity. Also with this person, then them needing to kind of take that initiative to step beyond this kind of perception of brokenness, or step beyond this energy of feeling, there's still a work in progress, there's still healing. While that may be very true, it almost feels like, there's a recipe here for a connection that can be very fulfilling, very enriching, very nourishing on a soul level to both individuals. So really opening up to receiving that. And again, this idea of, wings that are mending is bringing to mind the idea of like a butterfly in transformation. So whether it's somebody from the past returning, this can be an indication that the situation can be transformed, it can be healed. The past need not repeat itself again with this individual. They have grown, you have grown, you now have the ability to experience something different together. Or if this is somebody new you're dealing with, kind of what you're experiencing right now with one another, any kind of like hesitation or like a holding pattern you find yourself in. It's personal growth that is happening at this point in time that will open the door to the transformation and the possibility of elevating this connection to something else, something more with one another in the future. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. So we've got C, L, P, M, E, F, and W. So I'll try to hold those up a little bit. I forgot to bring the basket that I have been using as I'm starting to do these readings with my face on camera, so this will have to do. Hopefully you can see that, kind of see those letters there if you want to screenshot that. Okay, well, that was enough of that anyway. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.